We begin tonight with a special report looking at graduation rates in the state. We know students are earning their diplomas at record numbers, but now we look at college readiness. And I spent some time at Browning High School talking with students about their workloads and how it prepares them for success in higher education.
I just want a really great future for myself.
High school in Montana.
And every day we're pushing kids, get your education. We show them, the pros and cons of having an education to where it's not having one.
In 2015, Montana's overall graduation rate rose to 86%, 4 points above the national average. Everyone agrees graduating from high school sets up a brighter future.
You need your education to go forward in life.
Statistics from the National Center for Education show in 2014, the average earnings of a high school graduate were 20% higher than a dropout. But getting a high school diploma is just part of the equation. Joe Giuseppe, Browning High School pre-college advisor, says students may not be prepared to take that next step.
Out of the last 50 students that took an AP or advanced placement class, maybe only one has passed it.
Shanice Duckchief, a senior at Browning High, is concerned her school is not equipping her with the tools to succeed in higher education.
The school curriculum here is kind of lacking majority of things.
To graduate high school in Montana, the state requires students to take 4 years of English, 2 years of math, social studies and science, 1 year of health and PE, vocational or career tech, and art. Browning follows that standard and requires an additional semester of Blackfeet studies. Students say the curriculum is not enough.
It doesn't really prepare me.
According to Giuseppe, the obstacles start early for Browning students.
Incoming freshmen, I would guess, are below proficient.
The battle to achieve benchmarks and hit standards for American Indian students is seen throughout their entire high school career.
You would get to proficient probably on an average at the end of their sophomore, beginning of junior year.
ACT college readiness scores give students a 50% chance of getting a B or higher in the corresponding collegiate course. A composite score of 22 is the readiness standard. For the 2015-2016 school year in Montana, Caucasian high school students scored a 20.3 composite. American Indian students' composite score was just 17.
Evidently, they're just not given enough preparation.
Even with programs implemented by the Office of Public Instruction like Graduation Matters and Schools of Promise, focusing on helping students in Indian country, there's still a significant achievement gap. Once American Indian students are enrolled in college, almost half of them enroll in remedial classes their first year, which don't count towards earning a degree.
I think the education should be a big push to students because it's a way to get out of here, away from the reservation.
Caitlin Sharp is a senior at Browning High. She's trying to buck the trend, using deep-rooted family traditions to help. Sharp's grandmother has a master's degree in elementary education. Her mother has a bachelor's in elementary ed.
I am going to go into pharmacy, and I got accepted to the University of Montana just like 2 weeks ago.
Sharp says her family has always pushed her to thrive in school.
It'll set an example for the younger generation, and it will just help my community.
And be prepared for college. A complete story can be found on our website, including a comparison of different school districts' graduation requirements. Tune in tomorrow night for part 2, where we hear from Superintendent of Public Instruction Denise Juneau, as well as the Montana University system about how students perform once enrolled in college. Continue our special report tonight on the college readiness in the state. Some students express concerns about getting the proper tools they need in high school to succeed in higher education. I sat down with the Office of Public Instruction and the Montana University system to try and learn what students can do to thrive after graduating from high school. In fall 2015, 36% of Montana high school graduates enrolled in a Montana University school system. Out of those enrolled,
26% enrolled in at least one developmental class.
Developmental or remedial classes are extra classes in math or writing to get students up to the college level. Remedial classes do not count towards earning a degree. In 2015, 40% of American Indian students enrolled in a remedial math class.
Students who are placed in one or more remedial math courses have really a less than 10% chance of ever completing a degree.
Deputy Commissioner for Academic and Student Affairs for the Montana University System, John Seck, says college prep needs to begin well before a student reaches high school.
College readiness, I believe, really begins in middle school.
The Office of Public Instruction uses the Smarter Balanced test to help determine middle school students' academic progress. The most recent results show 18.4% of American Indian students 3rd through 8th grade performed proficiently in language arts. Almost 35% of Caucasian students in the same age group performed proficiently. The math scores were also similar.
There's definitely still work to do and improvement to be made.
Outgoing Superintendent of Public Instruction Denise Juneau has made a major push to increase high school graduation during her tenure.
Record high graduation rates, for 2 years running.
Juneau and the Office of Public Instruction sets the state standard for high school graduation, and high schools are allowed to set stricter standards.
The bar is set high at the state level, and it's now the school district's duty and obligation to make sure students are reaching that bar.
While each school district is different in the state, OPI requires students to take 2 years of math in high school. The admissions requirement for 4-year Montana University System schools is 3 years of math, and the social studies requirement is the same.
There is some responsibility on the student when they want to go to college to make sure that they are prepared.
Seck echoes Juneau in this regard.
I believe the parents of the students, encouraging the students, for example, for math, encouraging them to take 4 years of math, not 3 years, not 2 years. Take 4 years of math.
But for some of Montana's American Indian students, that parental support system is not there.
You didn't get support from grandparents or great-grandparents telling their children, grandchildren, go and be a part of the system which was so bad to me. And you wouldn't expect them to do that.
Browning High School pre-college advisor Joe Giuseppe explains this is a deep-rooted cultural issue that circles back to education.
Indians that are still alive today that were shamed about their own culture, about their own language, and I think that caused a general bitterness or resentment about non-Indian education system.
Browning is taking steps at the high school level to make sure students have the tools they need to succeed. In 2018, the required amount of math classes will double from 2 years to 4.
To get out of that, I guess we need to educate ourselves.
It's a way of changing the system and creating a more positive, supportive environment for generations to come. And the Montana University System is in the process of creating a program designed to target middle school students, getting them thinking about college. And for a full report on both parts of this special report, including a comparative chart, log on to our website, ktvh.com.